say
Top Billin. Oh, Top Billin to ya. Listen, as we march on to a repeat, we have to enjoy and dissect the journey along the way. We know the Eagles are going to be hell on wheels on defense. Just about every position solidified with someone dangerous. If we're talking about the defensive backfield, we know we loaded all kinds of talent out there. Your man Quinyon Mitchell, perhaps already a top 5 talent at the position. And you have guys like Cooper DeJean, young boys like maybe even Andrew Makuba. Right, keep that in mind right there. A lot of versatility there. Can't forget about Reed Blankenship at the safety position, Sidney Brown, and all. A lot of guys that are in the mix, right, to make this defense extremely special. But all eyes have to be on one Kelee Ringo. Right now, if I'm looking every time I read something about Kemp, it's not going that well for Kelee Ringo. But this is Kemp, so I'm not going to really spend a lot of time on this right here because I can't wait to get to the preseason games and into the season to really see what it's hitting for, because you can only, glean so much from Kemp, right? You got to go against other guys outside of your scheme. You might do well against those guys because they know you know their scheme, or you know what they're going to run, or vice versa. So maybe that's what that is right there. But one thing I don't like is hearing some of the same stuff that I've been talking about with Ringo since he was in high school, right? Yo, keep in mind, I've been covering Ringo since he was in high school. I know his skill set like the back of my hand. I have mountains of film studies on the dude. I know what he excels with, and I know what he will have trouble with, or what he needs to work on. We'll put it that way, right? We want to speak the positive into this. I want nothing but success for Kelee Ringo. He wears that Eagles uniform, right? He representing Philly out here, and I want him to really hone in and be the guy, right? Especially when you talk about being next to Quinyon Mitchell and you can form Voltron like that. Something like this, where he's an off man and he can have the ability to think the game through, he should be able to excel at something like this, right? If it doesn't have a sharp transition, look at that. You see him drive on the ball right there. He stuck that foot in and drove on the ball, right? I have no problem with routes like this that does not go in front of him and that doesn't have a sharp angle transition to where he has to flip his hips, right? He doesn't necessarily have to flip his hips on this play. He can just, bog it down and then shoot towards the target right here. This was a really good rep from him in that Giants game. Ringo made a name for himself defending vertical routes. Nobody's going to outrun Kelee Ringo. I don't care how fast you are. He's as fast as you going down the field. His problem becomes the moment of truth scenarios. Think about that right there. How many times, if you've watched him over his career, that he'll be in position, he just won't make the play. That's a tough thing to overcome because it becomes like, is it a mental thing? I mean, what's going on there? This is actually a play a little bit downfield that he does very well on. See this right here? No hands on man. He's able to stay on top of it. Boom. Goes up for the downstroke right there. We see it right here. Look, no hands on man, but he puts himself in good position by flipping his hips there and being able to close the distance, right? It's a rangefinder. In this day and age, you're not rerouting people. You're not throwing people on the ground. You can't beat people up at the line of scrimmage like back in the day. They don't even really want you to do that. You see a lot of clean breaks, right? Meaning you're giving it up at the line of scrimmage and you're not trying to really get hands on man. You're just trying to close the distance and find the range. He found the range, turned, located, and then goes up with the receiver here. Excellent rep. Going against them Baltimore Ravens. Hey, that's a Super Bowl preview. We'll talk about that another time, though. Y'all remember this play right here from his rookie season in the preseason? This illustrates exactly what I'm talking about. I do not understand how he lost sight of this ball right here or where he's even looking at. He was in great position, and the guy still made the catch. Very crazy. He was able to bog it down when he bogged it down. Right? Reaccelerate, get into position. Look, correct hands on the man, the look and feel technique. Turn into position, and then nothing. I saw him do that so many times when he was in college, and I've seen it happen to him now in the NFL as well. I just don't understand exactly why that happens to this kid, right? If he was able to fix that, at the very least, you could call him above average, right? Or maybe even leading to good. Just that one particular problem right there. The characteristic that gives me the most angst about Kelee Ringo is his ability to transition with receivers, right? I think his hips are virgin tight, right? He's got those virgin tight hips. So if we're talking about the quick game and all that, and we're talking about in and out breaking routes, that's where I think he has the most trouble. As far as something like this, though, I've seen him do this as well. We'll watch him here on this post route. Look at this right here. Bang. Flipped him. That was too easy. He was twisting in the wind. Twisting in the wind there on a route you would think that he would kind of excel on because of his speed. But guess what, man? Football is not track and field. Football, you have to have a certain skill set to play certain positions. So while people think speed is the number one attribute to being a cornerback, it's the ability to diagnose, flip those hips, has a great foot energy. Just, you know what I'm saying, like Quinyon Mitchell, right? He got them slutty hips, right? Your man got them slutty Kim Kardashian hips, right? His hips is loose, right? Like Kim Kardashian out this mug. But your man right here, man, he's working with some very tight hips. So he has to really, really hone in and be, I don't know, just skill perfect, right, in some of his transitions. And he loses a lot. A lot is lost in transition for this guy. For lack of a better term, lost in transition. I keep showing these vertical routes, as you can see by this tweet by John Clark. That's usually Kelee Ringo's specialty, but in the NFL, man, you're going against the best of the best, and if your specialty is not your best attribute, then what is? Right? If we're talking about someone like Adoree Jackson, I'm not a fan of Adoree Jackson either. I want Kelee Ringo to beat Adoree Jackson out. He's a little too soft as far as coming up to support the run, and that's not Philadelphia Eagles football. But he does have loose hips. He's a playmaker and all that. He can run as well. But to me, I don't know. He doesn't really fit what I think about Philadelphia Eagles football. But he could surprise as well. But Kelee Ringo is one of these dudes, at the very least, you should not be able to get the ball down the field on him. Well, people are excusing it because it's A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. But someone like Michael Gallup here, he's not A.J. Brown. And you can see exactly what they're talking about. Same deal right here. He gets stacked upon and great throw right there, unable to recover despite the fact that he has that type of speed, because it's a technique thing as well, right? But don't get me wrong, this is just camp, right? Or just the early portion of camp. I want to see what it looks like in the game. I can't wait to focus on Kelee Ringo. He's going to get star focus on this preseason, so we'll do a few of these on him because he has to be the most important player right now on the team, right? Because if they can't get that outside cornerback position, why you see I had all that consternation about that during the preseason, right, or the off season or whatever like that, and I was talking about Cooper DeJean moving outside. I wanted to see something happen on the outside because I recognize that people try to sweat the inside and all this and that, right? You're not going against as good a talent, and they can't run the type of routes that can just absolutely destroy you. It'll be death by 1,000 cuts on the inside, but on the outside, man, you can see dudes wrapping up 11, 12 catches for 250 yards and all that we see. That shit can destroy a defense no matter how good a defense is if you cannot have that outside position sewn up. So when I heard about Quinyon Mitchell possibly traveling with the best receiver as well, oh man, you know I love that shit. That's something I definitely want to see, and we would definitely highlight that if it happens there. But Kelee Ringo has to step up, man. He has to step up. So we'll see what it's hitting for. Much love to everybody out there, all my villains. Shout outs to everybody out there. You know how we do it, baby. North Philly in the building. Doing it big, baby. Kensington, Port Richmond, Brewery Town, Strawberry Mansion. The whole nine, you know how we get down, baby. Shout out to everybody on West Philly, Southwest, Northeast Philly as well. Shout out to everybody uptown. Much love to even my people out Center City, right? Big love out to Camden, New Jersey as well. Wilmington, Delaware, the whole Jersey. Let's get it.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.